Hi, friends. My name's Trisha Roberts, and you're going to be listening to or watching a discussion with two guests, Angel Flinn, and Angel Flinn is from Gentle World. Gentle World is a vegan intentional community, and I'll let Angel speak about that. She's also going to talk about how she became vegan and various issues in relation to that. And Keith Berger from South Florida Vegan Education Group will be joining us. So it should be it's just a chat, really, more than an interview. These are just informal chats. And so I'll bring in our guest, Angel, and let's see. Hi, Angel.
Hi, Trish. Good to see you.
So, Angel, you've been involved with Gentle World for quite a few years now. So if you wouldn't mind just sharing with us how Gentle World began and take it from there.
Sure. Yeah, I've been involved with Gentle World since the year 2000, but it actually goes back a long way. The community was founded in the year 1970, and that was a time when veganism was really not known about at all. And that's really formed the basis for the Gentle World community, because it was a handful of people who had become vegan just sort of through their own understanding of what happens to animals along the way to becoming meat, milk, eggs. As they came to learn the reality of this, they just realized one thing at a time that they couldn't really participate in this anymore, and became vegan without knowing there was a word for it or anything like that. So when there were just a few people who all felt the same way, they decided, well, we better get together, and they actually formed, an intentional community that's lasted until now and is actually thriving at a time when many communities, of course, petered out along the way. Gentle World has continued, and I think veganism has been a tremendous part of that. And along the way of being an intentional community, what they realized was that part of what they wanted to do, of course, was to educate other people about veganism. And that's how it also became an educational organization.
That's fantastic. Yeah. I'll just introduce Keith. We'll just add Keith into this, and Keith can feel free. She'll be popping in a sec. Feel free, Keith, to just jump in and ask Angel any questions that you wish. So Angel, when you've got there's two locations, isn't there? There's like Hawaii, and then there's New Zealand. So you're currently in Hawaii at the moment. What's it like sort of being in Hawaii, and like what would you say is an average sort of a day for you, because you're the educational outreach person? So how do you go about that at Gentle World?
Okay, sure. Well, first of all, to answer your question about being in Hawaii, I certainly feel very fortunate to be here. It's quite an amazing place to be. We have beautiful weather, though it's not the 365 days of sunshine that people think it is. It's actually a very, really good growing climate as well. It's not just beautiful sunshine, but we have a good amount of rainfall. And really one of the amazing things about Hawaii is just the food that grows here and how easy it is to grow food here. Things grow really quickly, they grow really well, and that's a big part of what we do is teaching people also about organic gardening, because that's a big part of what a lot of people want to know about, is how to actually, grow this food themselves, and especially organically without the use of animal byproducts as well. So that's what we call veganic.
I've seen that video actually on YouTube of you all like really bringing an amazing harvest. Like it was really great to see. And then you had that terrible sort of it was a flood, wasn't it, about 5 months ago? Did Gentle World recover from that? Like the actual structures and everything? How is that going?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because with a flooded river, one of the things that happens is it changes the actual landscape itself. So that's something that will continue to change as the years go on. The river just has its way of carving out its path, and it can change banks and pools and all sorts of other things.
Yeah.
It did, as I'm sure you saw and other people saw in our announcement at the time, it took away several of our caravans. So that was either that people were living in, or caravans that were being used for storing equipment and things like that. So we took a bit of a loss as a result of that. But what we did was we put out a call to our supporters, and that was actually an incredibly beautiful thing about the flood, was the outpouring of support that we received from people who, some of them were people we knew, friends and, fans from over the years. And then other times we received contributions from people who we had never heard the names. And it was just so beautiful because people were sending us messages of, gratitude for what we do. And I assume a lot of that was from, following the website and subscribing to our newsletter and reading the articles that we put out. And so to feel, people wanting to actually pitch in and support us when we needed it was incredibly heartwarming. So it was actually a gift that the flood gave. And we did manage to recover our costs, which was really wonderful. And hopefully when we get there next time, we'll be able to even make some improvements. So I think it'll all ultimately work out for the best.
I think it's amazing, hey Keith, that Gentle World has managed to keep going through all this, through this like decades. Basically, it's been going for ages. I just think it's amazing that it's kept going. And let's face it, things aren't getting easier, in a financial sense for organizations that are alternatives like this, which is so important, really. I mean, I think organizations like Gentle World that they promote veganism up front and center. They don't promote the idea of humane animal use. That's a complete myth and a nonsense and very speciesist. And your blogs. Keith and I were just talking about, just before we came on, how much we admire Angel's blog writing. She's got this incredible way with words, and I invite people to check out gentleworld.org and check out some of Angel's writings on there. It's really wonderful. It's morally consistent veganism. There's no, it's just a lovely way that she has of presenting this most important social justice issue. That's really great. Did you have some questions you'd like to ask Angel, Keith? I'm
going to join the Angel Flinn Admiration Society for a moment and reiterate what I told her back in the green room before we came on, which is that sometime after I started living vegan, I don't know how long it was, but I was poking around on the internet and I found some of Angel's writing, and I'm pretty critical about writing. There's a lot of really poor writing in the world, and I started reading some of what Angel was, I could talk about you in the first person, some of what you were putting out, Angel, and I was really impressed at your ability to impart the ideas eloquently and succinctly, and just to speak in a voice that, not to be punny or anything, but in a way that was gentle and firm at the same time. It really got the point across that veganism is, the importance of veganism as a social justice issue, and that it's, this isn't about diets and fads and things that come and go. This is about an important issue that that the converse of claims the lives of billions, if not trillions, of sentient individuals every year. So, eventually I was going to say I put pen to paper, but I didn't. I put fingers to keyboard at the behest of Elena Brodskaya, my girlfriend and partner at South Florida Vegan Education Group, and with Trisha's encouragement or cajoling maybe, and